I think today was a really interesting day, and quite challenging in many ways. There's some very good, strong themes that came out. We saw a message from all the broadcasters here that support is a really important part of the overall package, but not just the guys who walk in with a bag full of bits and a toolbox. It's people who support the entire project, making sure that the different vendors can work together, and who's going to take responsibility for that when it breaks, not just from a piece of equipment point of view, but from a solution point of view. And that was strengthened by 3 separate broadcasters in today's meeting, all of whom have got a lot of experience of implementing complex projects.
Ultimately, the most important thing when we get round the table is we don't get opportunities to speak to other broadcasters. We all have common goals, we all have common aims, and we want to ensure that actually we can effectively solve those. So using events like this, it always gives us great benefit to actually talk to other broadcasters, to understand the same or similar problems that they're having or issues that they want to solve. So I always find these type of round table events really beneficial to actually enable me to learn more and actually understand that we're not the only people who want those solutions and also want to fix those problems.
One of the main things that struck me about the conversation we had around the table was that all of the major broadcasters, as they are, were echoing the same kind of philosophy in terms of over-the-top services and internet-delivered video, whether that be catch-up or IPTV or any of those kinds of offerings. And that was really around the fact that it was an expectation of their consumers and their viewers, rather than something that they would sell as an extra service. It become part of the package that added value, but couldn't really be charged for at the moment. But at the same time, everybody saw a future where that model would change. So right now they had to be in the game, but they were looking ahead a few years to see how that was going to move on.
So one of the most interesting things I got out of today's event, although perhaps not that surprising, was comparing experiences with the other broadcasters of how they've dealt with suppliers and what they want from suppliers and what suppliers perhaps aren't giving. And certainly the case that customer service is very important. It was clear that all of the broadcasters wanted to get that across, and a willingness from suppliers to go the extra mile, be proactive in how they engage with their customers. For example, when they get a new engineer, sending that engineer to site. Manufacturers are always very quick to send their new sales representative, but perhaps not someone from the technical team, and I think that could provide a real benefit.
I think we found today that broadcasters had a lot in common in terms of what we value from a supplier. And it's not just bells and whistles and trinkets and how fast it goes, it's how good the supplier is and how it handles the customer, how good its support is, how strong its product is and how sustained it is, and critically how it talks to other suppliers. We need more standardisation. We need suppliers to understand that helps them sell their products if they work well with other suppliers and the customers.
Overall, I found the discussion very enlightening. It exposes an appetite for the open, collaborative type environment we're trying to encourage in the marketplace. Very eye-opening from an understanding that there's a lot of work to be done in that area, especially around how we integrate customer care and support in an open standards environment.
The other thing that really surprised me was the conversation turned around for the bulk of the meeting into the relationship and the service that the companies get from their suppliers, rather than the products and the features and the functions and the technological one-upmanship that the rest of the industry seems to be focusing on. And there was a big emphasis on the fact that good customer support, good relationship management, getting to know what the customer really wants and what they're trying to do was much more important than the fact that your latest gadget was slightly better or faster than your competitors. I think that's a lesson that we certainly need to learn and take on board along with everyone else in the industry.